So, good afternoon. Thank you for joining. This is not really a webinar. This is just going to be a nice little chat so that you guys can understand what the alternative realities, I fix up the setting, for today, for tomorrow, that are today means. Okay, so we are going to be discussing who am I, of course, like usual, history of alternative realities, different types, challenges, and what I've learned using the XR. Okay, so, this is going to be some food for thought, and we can discuss this at the end of this little chat where we will have a section of questions and answers where we can discuss these two topics and others, which will be at the end. So the first one is, I don't know if you ever heard the song by Queen, the Bohemian Rhapsody. It starts off, is this the real life or is it just fantasy? Okay. And another one is about Chan Tzu, where he put a nice little interesting question, which was, when he is dreaming of a butterfly, is he dreaming of a butterfly, or is the butterfly dreaming that he is a man, dreaming that he's a butterfly? So these are two little interesting chats we can have at the end of the chat. Okay, so who am I? My name is Jorge Cabral. Traveled the world professionally in a professional background, QA most of the time, but I'm also a certified trainer and internship mentor for virtual reality and augmented reality projects. I prefer doing all my talks in English because I am South African, born and raised. So I lived there for about 18 years. And being part of Lecture with Erasmus, and I've got 2 more coming up soon. So here was the first one, Education Accessed with Games at Escola Secundária Alves Martins, here in Viseu, one of the best public schools there is. I think it came in 3rd or 2nd in national level. Croatia has actually already put my lecture on. We're going to go through parts of it. And there I am at the City Hall. I'm the ugly guy in the middle with the blue suit, white shirt. That's City Hall where I did the same lecture to give them an understanding of what we do. Okay. I'm just going to go through a short little topic about the history. Just like computers, history of equipment goes back many, many, many years, sometimes even centuries. And the first actual VR, if you want to call it that, equipment was created in the 19th century. So it was a stereoscope using photographies, mirrors, and the 2 images would be sent to each eye, so you could have a full view of things. I don't know if you've ever seen any movies where these old people would handle a stereoscope, something like this. I don't know if you've seen these kind of things in museums. So this was the start of actual virtual reality. 2 images creating the idea of a 3D image. Okay. And throughout the years, things went going on. and I've lost my screen. Here it is. Evolution kicked in, and the first half of the 20th century, around 1339-40, you get the Viewmaster. I don't know if any of you had these things when you were kids. I had them. You know, you'd have these glasses you put, you click, and you could see an image on both sides. It was a way to work around and see different views of the world. Okay, and of course, like everything, like computers, technology has a tendency to evolve very fast. And in 56, you get the first Sensorama. This was a crazy virtual reality machine because you'd sit on a bench and you could see the city on a screen, of course, and you could drive a motorbike, hear the engine, feel the vibration, and even allow you to smell the engine. So that smell of the exhausts and everything, you could actually, it would actually be throwing smells into your face. Okay. That was the first one, 56. And of course, things started to evolve. And in 1968, you get the first HMD device. HMD stands for head-mounted device. Okay. It was given the name of the Sword of Damocles. This machine would actually crush you, kill you if it fell on you. So it needed to have specific equipment holding it up. And sometimes, you know, you'd risk breaking it and you would die. 1916 to 1980, NASA, US Air Force, like most countries, militaries gave a big impulse into virtual reality equipment. So you start getting bigger equipment, more real devices throughout time. Okay. So mid 1980, you get this guy, Jaron Lanier. There's a nice little lecture about him. Dawn of New Everything. So he started improving the headgear, created his own company, and popularized the term virtual reality. So the term virtual reality actually comes from him, and he was the first one to build a virtual reality company from scratch. Okay, and of course, like all technology, everything evolves. And it's growing exponentially. We have smaller headsets, like this one over here, which I have. Better graphics. Better graphics, and even haptic devices. Anybody know what haptic is? So I'm going to show you a short little video about the Tesla suit. So haptic devices actually make you feel everything that is around you. Okay. They actually exert a whole lot of force according to what you do, but of course they have to be programmed. So this is all haptic devices, everything you can feel. So the virtual reality with the haptic devices puts you in a whole different world. Okay. This is where reality starts getting confused with the immersive world. Okay. So, alternative realities. What do you need to know? Okay. What they are, what we can expect from it. Is it real? What's the benefits? Is it affordable? And trends in the industry. At the end, I'm also going to show you a few demos of what we work about. So, AR technology. It overlays digital created content into the user's real-world environment. I don't know if you've ever seen anything like this. So, for example, one of the greatest games ever created using augmented reality was the Pokemon Go. I don't know if you guys played it. I know I didn't. I had better things to do with my life to walk around and trying to find some little monsters. Okay. Then you get virtual reality. So it allows the visualization of digitally created into a user's device. So while this one, it imports the environment into your real world environment, virtual reality works the other way, which is it sends all the digital created content into a specific device where you cannot see the real world outside it. Okay. What's mixed reality? Mixed reality is the result of merging both the physical world and the virtual world to create new environments, and where they both interact with each other in real time. This is where we are actually going to in the future. And some companies have already showed it, already using it. I'm going to be showing an example from HoloLens and Dynamics 365. And then Synergy that also has the same environment, so you can actually see what's going on. And you get the term XR. Okay, so XR is an umbrella which will include all the other terms, augmented, virtual, mixed. So instead of saying mixed, you can actually say the XR, which involves every other one. Okay. So I'm going to show you, before we carry on, HoloLens. Hope you enjoy it. Let me put legends on if you guys want. Maximize this and go. So this was one of these examples using XR. As you can see, let's put this in a practical term. Let's say you have a machine that breaks down, just like this one. What would happen in all the other days, in old days? You'd have to wait for the machine, you'd have to wait for the technician to come over. It would cost you a company crap load of money because you'd have to pay for the hotel, and then switch off the machine, wait for it to be fixed, and all this costs a lot of money. At the end of the day, using such an equipment would actually save you or company a lot of money. Okay. So let me see if here's the other one by Synergy. Okay. Two of the projects we actually worked on, one was for Windows. Okay, not Windows from the computer system, but Windows in terms of architectural environments. So it was building this kind of equipment for certain customers. So imagine you're building a house and you want to see what a window would look like, a window frame. The commercial person would come up to you, bring you an example, and then a whole lot of books using this. With this option, all you needed to take was the mobile phone, and you could actually see what the window looked like inside its actual place. So it would give the customer a final image of a better thing. Anybody sensitive here? Is anybody sensitive? Please beware. I'm going to be showing you some funny things. And it's this one. So I'm going to switch my camera for a bit, so you can actually see this one. You can close your eyes if you want. I'll tell you when it's over.
It's a nice warning. It's a nice warning.
So we also worked with the doctor, and he wanted to see and show patients what their heart would look like inside in case of an issue. Okay, so I don't know if you can see properly. So there's me, you know, and I give you an X-ray of the heart.
Yeah, nice. You have a beautiful heart. Congratulations.
Yeah, not so beautiful.
Not so healthy though.
No, not so healthy. COVID did its toll. Okay. So as you can see, this is also used by the medical profession. You know, we work on this, and we'll come to the part of pros and cons after it. Okay. So I'm just going to switch it off because my computer looks like a Formula One car riding on the highway. It's taking up, as you know, usually it does.
It's an F-16 ready to take over.
Yeah. So let's go back. You know, before alternative realities, what did we have? You know, the conventional form of showing things, designing, modeling. People had no idea of exactly what they were seeing. You know, when you look at an image on a piece of paper, you don't see the real elements, do you? You just see a 2D drawing, and you have to imagine exactly what it's going to be, what it's going to look like. Okay. With all these alternative realities, you get a full idea on what it really looks like. You know, you can see it in real time. You can see what we are developing. You can see what a building is going to look like. You can see what a room is going to be like if you walk inside. You can see what, you know, a car is going to look like instead of just having a 2D drawing. You don't need to create these big models like they used to many years ago, using clay and all that just to show us what it was. You know, of course, there are better revenues, increase of profits, because people will see things immediately and don't have to wait to see how things are like. Okay. So remember that window I showed you a few minutes ago. Okay. This was the timeline it took for us to build. So we had to get the, you know, the project, what was needed, how was it going to be made, what tools we were going to be used. Kickoff designs was during the month of February. March, drawing, development. April, making sure that this would go great. Well, we now have a big bug because the company decided to buy everybody new Android phones with the latest Android version, which is not compatible with some of Unity's.
And I think you are very thankful with them, right? Okay, thank you guys. You just made my days happier. Thanks for this fabulous update.
Yeah, well, man, it's part of it. You know, it's like Windows when they update the system and you lose everything.
Yes, I know what you're talking about because in a project in 2018 I had the same problems, so I know how you feel.
Yeah. So, and in May, you know, first week of May, we finally delivered the project. So, you know, simple window will take us 5 months to build. I know it sounds stupid, but there's a lot of work that goes behind it. Okay. So what happens when you adopt this alternative technology? You know, it empowers the customers. The customer's confidence grows higher because he's actually looking at something. You know, he's not looking at a drawing. He's looking at a new element. His doubts, you know, on a paper you look and you go, but I'm not sure this will actually look. I don't understand how it actually looks like. And you show them in the virtual reality, augmented reality, they have a feeling and knowing what needs to be done. And of course, they can then pay more because they can do all the changes they want right there, which at the same time gives you great leniency in terms of getting things developed. Okay. It can change everything. Alternative realities can change everything, but you need to have comprehensive information about how business and companies need to work together. It's one of the things, unfortunately, you would see in many countries, not only Portugal, which is when we show something like this, the first question that comes out of them is not, how is it going to benefit the company? Will we make money out of it? Is how much it's going to cost us. That's the first question that comes out. Not benefits, it's just cost. So, you know, it's going to take time to implement this. So we come down to a nice, interesting question. Is AR better than VR? Well, it's a real-time environment in terms of AR. It's non to partial immersive. So you can actually see on the mobile, and you can actually look at the environment around you. And of course, it costs much less than VR. Trust me, I know. Okay. Of course, we have all the benefits that come through it. You get increased productivity, get supported growth, and you know that you will have future of work, remote workers, everybody's on the same page, and people will understand what you're already doing. Okay. You also have improved services, remote training. You know, you don't need to send somebody overseas to train them on how to do something. You know, maintenance service. We saw that in CDEL and HoloLens demos. So as you can see, these small little things help a lot. Okay. Trends. Internet of Things will explode, of course. It's already exploded, but it will become more extensive. We will be able to play with virtual reality in AR in a deeper context. Artificial intelligence, machine learning will also flourish. It actually is, but it's also starting to frighten me, but that's my opinion. Everybody has their own right to think about what they're going. Automation will simplify operations and processes. And DevOps will become more important to get VR and AR up and running, or as I like, or XR if you want to use that term, because it's a mixture of everything. You know, I've just been talking about pros, but there are a few cons. Cost of equipment. Do you know how much it costs a Tesla suit per month to rent? The Tesla suit costs you 10,000 euros a month just to rent. Just Tesla suit. It's a crap load of money. You get full VR kits that can go up to 60,000 or 70. You know, so it is an expensive hobby at the moment. And it's great for companies who have kind of this amount of money to throw away on hoping something will come out of it. Content creation. Expensive, very expensive. Time consuming as well. You know, as you saw the window, some small window, and it took me that long to make. Right now, I'm working on a small little thing, okay? And I can tell you that it's already been 2.5 months and I'm still working on it. I don't know if you guys know what this is. It's a bit of mythology and history. Any clues? This is the Colossus of Rhodes. So I'm going to make a real size image of it. So when you put on your VR glasses, you will be able to see this little toy with a height of 30 meters. So you don't see what it looks like, on a paper or something. You will see it in real life. But as you can see, it takes so much time to get anything done. So going back to our nice little slide, as you can see, it's time consuming. Slow at the moment, some of these products need to work through network. And sometimes our network issues, as we all know, especially if you have Teams running on your computer, tends to be an interesting approach. The equipment is heavy. It might seem light, 2 kilos is nothing. But after an hour, 2 kilos starts becoming something. Okay. And the largest con is when people start using this, they get lost in this. So they have to understand when to switch off and remove themselves from living in an immersive world. I don't know if any of you ever saw the movie Uncanny Valley. It's a short film, 6 minutes. I'll put it up over here, try and put, okay, there we go. So going back to our little chat, you can understand. People start living in a full immersive world. They will just start eating or going to sleep and throwing away the rest of their life, practically. Okay. Now, what are the biggest challenges we have? Costs, software costs. For example, one of the projects we have, and I've been working on it for the last 6 years. We had to buy a license for AutoCAD, for Autodesk tools. So Inventor, Fusion, AutoCAD, 3D Max, and as you can see, it was 6,150. This is just one software, and then of course you need hardware which can maintain this. So graphic cards, memory, storage, all this starts adding up. Then you've got another problem, which is clients with strict NDAs. Some companies will not allow VR to be done by any other companies except themselves because of the drawings, the technical drawings, and they will not provide it to the final customer. So this is where many companies are struggling to get into because of the strict NDAs. How do you get through it? It's going to work inside one of those companies where you can build this, and there's no problem about it. Okay, but trying to do external job for one of these companies is a nightmare. And then you got the software itself. What are you going to use? You need to learn new tools. The evolution of things grows so much. For example, Unity and Unreal. Unreal has overtaken Unity in terms of VR and designs. It's become a crazy world. It looks simple. You looked at the drawing, simple, right? It's not. You need to work on frame rates. You need to work on motion sickness. And then you got the development languages. Unity uses C#, not bad. If you got an understanding of Java, or you can simply slowly jump into C#. Unreal uses C++. So I don't know if any of you guys are in development or use C++, but I remember from some of my contracts, C++ is not such a nice little thing to work with. So before we finish, I'm going to turn my camera on so you can see the fool that I make myself out of. Okay. And I'm going to show you what I see when I go through VR. Okay. Let's open up VR. Where are you? Oh man, don't tell me I closed it. Let's do this one. Yep. Sorry, my mistake. I should have put it on a different screen. Okay, so I'm just gonna put the equipment on, reset it, and you guys can see what I actually go through, what I'm actually going to be going through. Just going to start putting the equipment as it is. Give me a second. You do need space with these things. That's why I took away my watch, because I usually tend to eat everything with it. So we can experience a little bit of a spacewalk. Share cast with this computer. Next. Okay. Tell me if you guys can see everything. Yep. Okay, so let's take a nice little walk or stroll across the International Space Station. As you can see, many of us won't have the privilege to go to one of these things. So let's quickly go for explorations.
Please select Training Mission or Explorer mode.
So we're right here. We need to go for a quick spacewalk, which is down the road, down this whole thing, and left. Whoa. So this is actually the International Space Station. So if you ever wanted to feel what it's like, look like it, whoa, I know I look funny. So as you can see, below us we have Italy. It's a long way down, man. And this is what the International Space Station actually looks like. You can actually go for a few rides.
Access, this is Mission Control at Johnson. You've gone too far from the station.
Whoops. Yeah, too far. So where's the sun? Something like it. Whoa. Okay, guys. Let's just go back. Of course, there are other games you can play with this. Come on, switch off. Thank you. Problem with this is that you really start going into an immersive world. You lose, your mind actually forgets what it's doing because it's so real. So, with virtual reality, you start to ask yourself, how do we know there's an external world? What's the nature of reality? How does mind and body interact with the virtual world? And what is reality? These questions are in an interesting book, which I recommend, called Reality Plus. David Chalmers, very good book. And some TED Talks with Jared Lanier. Yeah, he's an interesting guy. If you want to jump into this wonderful world, it is a wonderful world. It's a crazy world. I'd recommend all these books. Reality Plus, Virtual Worlds, Philosophical Questions, Dawn of the New Everything. This was, as I stated before, by Jared Lanier. Now he created VR, what he thinks of VR, how things are going. Fourth Transformation. This one was Robert Skoll and Shell Israel. They interviewed hundreds of professionals, and throughout this book, it does require a very high level of understanding on the subject itself. And then finally, the metaverse and how it will revolutionize everything. Matthew Ball, throughout this book, wonderful vision of the metaverse. And you also destroyed your weekend, because this book is so interesting that you pick up the first page and you will only be happy when you finish it. Don't forget, XR will change the way we shop. This was a sentence by Michio Kaku. He threw out this sentence, and it has become a new trend in the future. Okay, guys. There's my email if you want. Jorge Cabral at Gmail. Or via my LinkedIn page. Just look for me, Jorge Cabral. You'll see me there. Many years younger, not like I am now. I need to update that picture. And I'll let you go for questions and answers.